Binge.
Hey everybody, welcome back for a brand new video about the show that has sadly been quarantined, The Walking Dead. Warning, beyond this point there are spoilers for people who are not up to date in The Walking Dead television series as well as the comic books. In this video, we're going to give you our binge breakdown of the promo trailer and sneak peek for the season 10 finale of The Walking Dead, ominously titled A Certain Doom. We're going to go over everything we have about this finale and speculate where it's all going to end up before we have a long wait to make it to season 11, which thankfully is still in pre-production under Angela Kang remotely. Finally, we want to speculate on this guy. What the fuck is his deal? First, let's take a look at this trailer. The opening shot gives us a sense of urgency as Gabe and some others hurry down a hospital hallway. The camera focuses in on the priest and he looks scared. Could this be his last episode? As the voiceover comes in of Gabe talking about their plan, we see a shot of walkers, which we assume are part of the horde closing in on the hospital. Gabriel wants them to split up into smaller groups. Nothing could go wrong with that, right? As we see a shot of Carol and Lydia behind her, Daryl says what we know is pretty much inevitable.
We're not all gonna make it through.
That's right, people. Someone is almost definitely gonna die. What do you think? Who will bite the dust next? Right after Daryl's dialogue, we get a shot of Luke and his kind of girlfriend who we've seen like twice all season. Could she be a red shirt casualty? This would make Luke's character more interesting and maybe stronger, but it's anyone's guess. As we hear a brooding Daryl tell everyone this is the only way, we see a sweet moment between him and Judith, but it appears they are separating. What the fuck? The kid is tough, but you can't just leave her by herself. The next shot reveals Daryl and Carol are kind of on the mend, sticking together as Mr. Dixon gives Judith some prison window love. This is fucked up, people. After that, the trailer cuts to Team Whispers as Beta, aka Alphabet, tells his horde to begin. Does he have them on voice command now? What is this, Google Home? As the horde moves in, the promo cuts to Team Eugene, and it's kind of awesome to see them riding bikes like some grown-ups pretending to reenact Stranger Things. We have to stop here to appreciate Princess's Peloton face. Hopefully she gets some good scenes in the finale and in season 11. Eugene's voiceover makes it sound like they won't make the meeting along with his face here, but we're pretty sure he'll find what he's looking for. There have been rumors of stormtroopers from the Commonwealth in this episode, and we believe that will be the final shot of Eugene's storyline, if not the entire season. Following that moment, we're brought back to the hospital where the walkers have breached the building, and Judith warns everyone that they are coming, and then the trailer picks up speed as the characters get ready to wade through the horde with the good old guts trick first used by Rick and Glenn in season 1. Kelly puts a Whisperer mask on, then Luke and his girl wait as the walkers pass through them, along with Daryl in this shot who's doing the same thing. As the door is breached by a weapon, it looks like Father Gabe is here making a stand with a shotgun. Does he stay behind to buy the kids time? Will he get his death by Beta just like in the comics? Next, the trailer cuts outside with Aaron fighting Whisperers in the woods. What is going on with his story? We know Alden and Aaron are together, but will they both make it to season 11? The final few shots we see are of Eugene's group wandering into the train yard where he set up his rendezvous with Stephanie. It appears the entire group makes it to the meeting point, and the last shot shows Ezekiel giving Eugene a pep talk. He was confirmed to exit the season, but has something changed? Is this right before Ezekiel dies, or will he stick around for the beginning of season 11? Long live the king. The title splash at the end gives us some depressing news. Later this year. When is later? 6 weeks or 6 months? We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Now let's talk about the sneak peek that was released on the remotely shot episode of The Walking Dead right after the penultimate episode aired. We believe these are the opening minutes, although with the episode not technically finalized, these scenes could land anywhere in the finale. The first shot starts almost exactly the same way the trailer for the episode does, with Father Gabe hurrying down a hallway. He passes Jerry and tosses him some kind of sheets, it looks like to cover the windows with. Gabe runs into Diane for a little slapstick humor, and we couldn't help but watching this one again in slow motion a couple times. The two part ways, and Gabe continues on his mission to help prep the hospital for the horde attack. The next few shots are actually the ones we saw earlier in the promo trailer of Gabriel in the hallway before looking at the approaching walkers. After he covers the windows, we hear little RJ say,
"I'm scared."
"Aw, poor kid." Gabriel tries to reassure the kids, but Gracie clearly has a pretty good bullshit detector.
We've seen how many are coming. Lots more than we have.
Aaron raised her right. Gabriel goes on to tell the kids a cute little story about the fingers on his hand being the different communities, and combined they will make a mighty fist. The preacher goes on to name the communities: Alexandria, Hilltop, Oceanside, and the Kingdom. But let's not forget, half these communities have been wiped out. Gracie once again doubts Gabriel, but this time he does have a good response for her.
Who's that for?
The others.
As he talks about the groups of scattered survivors, which have always been the X factor in the past, we get confirmation that Kelly, Carol, Daryl, and thank God Judith are all together. What about RJ though? That's messed up, Daryl. As Gabriel's voiceover talks about those who might find the survivors help, we see Eugene and his group in the bicycle shot we already saw in the promo. The next moment is surprising as Virgil has returned to Oceanside. But realistically, what is he gonna do? He can't kill zombies and his only strength seems to be lying, but who knows, look at what Eugene has done for the survivors. As Gabriel talks about the communities fighting together, we see Aaron fighting his way through the woods in another shot from the trailer. However, the shot continues in this sequence and we see Alden is alive and well right before they run into this person. Who the fuck is this? It seems like they belong on a sci-fi show or kung fu flick. What do you think? Is this a man or woman? Are they friend or enemy? Will they tear some walkers up with those cool blades? The final sequence we get is one a lot of people have been waiting for, the return of Maggie. We haven't seen her since Rick's last episode back in the first half of Season 9, but after her other series wasn't renewed, it was only a matter of time before Lauren Cohen returned to reprise her role of Maggie, who's been off hanging with Georgie while Jesus and a bunch of other survivors were getting murdered. Thanks, Mags, but where's baby Herschel at? The note for Maggie was written by either Carol or Ezekiel, as they list the Pike death victims here and say, "my son." We think it's probably Carol by the handwriting. She is telling Maggie they need help and warning them of the Whisperer threat. Will Maggie return with an army in Season 11? Does Georgie's community tie into the Commonwealth or CRM, or are they opposing factions? We believe these bigger communities somehow all tie together, but it's hard to tell what that connection will be. The scene ends with a shot of Maggie in deep, troubled thought. What do you think? What will her next move be? During the last episode of The Talking Dead for a while, Angela Kang called in and talked about the delays on the finale.
Safety is also the reason that we pushed our episode 1016. An episode actually takes months to finish, and there's certain parts of the process that we couldn't do remotely, so we couldn't finish in time to air.
She is unclear on how long it will take to finish, but we believe that the World Beyond series premiere and possibly first few episodes were pretty much ready to air, and that this episode was also almost done, and editing can be done remotely. We think AMC may be holding back these episodes and any other finished episode until they have a better idea of when the world will reopen again. But we want new content now. What do you think? Isn't now the time we need new shows and movies most of all? Now let's talk about who else might die. We think Beta is almost definitely a goner, along with the rest of the Whisperers. Father Gabriel is most likely going to go, and we think Ezekiel is still probably up on the chopping block, although you just never know. We believe the communities will ultimately win the Whisperer War, but Maggie and Georgie may create some sort of complication with the Commonwealth storyline that was never there before. Finally, let's go back and speculate on who this person is. Could this be Heath? Or could it be a crossover character coming from Fear or even World Beyond, which was supposed to start airing right after the flagship series aired its Season 10 finale, but now nobody knows. Could this be Michonne's child, who was reunited with her in the comics when the communities finally meet up with the Commonwealth? In the comics, she has a daughter, and it was a son in the TV series, but that's not a huge change. Could Michonne's son Andre have somehow survived and be this individual? Could this be the return of Dwayne, who's long been rumored to be alive but never confirmed? Both these theories involve good parents mistakenly leaving their kids for dead, so we don't think it's likely, but is it more likely that Heath learned Kung Fu? Could this just be some new threat from a new community never even thought of in the comics? With Angela Kang, it's anyone's guess. Thanks so much for watching our videos, everyone. As always, we're on the lookout for any new promo or insider interview to help prove or disprove all the theories out there about our favorite show that will hopefully be back real soon. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Binge Rampage. Click the notifications bell for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out. And don't forget to subscribe.
When I was first here by myself, I figured somebody else would show up eventually. Odds are right. And then days turned into months, and it was so empty. But then I realized this isn't that different from how I felt before all this.